So the next one here. This is an interesting, unique situation here. Following the previous presentation, we stick to the subject of online gambling advertising. Virtually with us today, we have Anne-Jaap Snijders, Chief Commercial Officer of Kindred Group. Anne-Jaap, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's good. And we can even see you now. Anne-Jaap, you're on the left top of the screen here. Welcome to Amsterdam, even remotely. Next to Anne-Jaap, we have Timothy Mastelinck, Chief Marketing Officer of betFIRST from Belgium. Timothy, for obvious reasons, could not make it to Amsterdam, as well as Anne-Jaap. And unfortunately, our moderator, Marcel Beerthuizen, founder and managing director of bigplans, has a cold. I hope it's not Corona, and I don't think it's Corona, Marcel. But just to be sure, we decided you would stay home today. So you have a captive audience here in Amsterdam and a captive audience on the internet. Gentlemen, and especially Marcel, the moderator, over to you.
Thank you very much, Willem, and thank you for inviting me for hosting this session. Very interesting session, I guess. And we will also elaborate on the words that Mauro already spoke. AJ and Tim, you both have a lot of experience in opening new markets. Holland is opening pretty soon right now. Based on your experiences, what can we expect over here? Also when it comes to marketing, communications and advertising. AJ, to start with you.
Yeah, no, thanks Marcel, and hello Amsterdam, and then hello everyone remotely. Good to be in this topic together with all of you. Of course, the customers will see many new companies with advertising, but I'm not really afraid, because like the Dutch customer is quite used to gambling advertising already. We have a long heritage since '64 with licenses, and there's already quite some advertising, around 150 million something. But of course, it will increase, and that's for operators. Key to balance between good channelization. We need to guide the customers with a good offer to our products, but don't annoy the customers, regulator, politicians, and media. So that will be essential.
Timothy, what is your view on the opening of the Dutch market?
Yeah, I agree with AJ. I think if we look to a lot of other markets, I think the big challenge will be the image of our industry. If we see in a lot of markets where there's a lot of advertising and the perception of our industry isn't too good. I think if you compare compared to our industry or some of our brands in the market to Ryanair, we're sometimes below Ryanair. But I think we need to go to find a really good balance between the quality and the quantity of the advertising. And like Mauro also said in his session, I think there's a big challenge in front of us to go for a co-regulation where the regulator, the operators, the sport and the media, they need to define like the guiding principles how advertising should be done in a market. And we see in other markets that this is, like in Belgium, this is becoming more standard.
Yeah, no, I think the expectation from the regulator is pretty clear. So as I heard René Jansen, chairman of the CASA this morning, it's RG is the magic word. And good to hear that, and it has been repeated before. So it should be fully in all our communication plan, and we have quite some knowledge that it is part of our communication plan, and it should be in all commercials and part of your sponsorships and in your own social media channels. So we need to guide the customer to a product, but as well guide them to responsible gambling.
Yeah, is that the way to build trust? Because trust, it was already mentioned before in this conference, is such an important word also for the industry. Is that the way to build trust, or are there other means as well? AJ?
communication is one part to build trust, and of course it's your of course you have your own site and your own products where trust should be part of it, but communication, that's how you talk to all stakeholders. So you can only do it in many different ways, but if you don't do it with trust, the customer won't trust you, the regulator won't trust you, and the media won't trust you. So essential, do it the right way.
Timothy, there were several waves in the Belgian market when it comes to restrictions, etc. What is the current situation?
That you're not allowed. An important one is that you're not allowed to communicate in around bonuses. We have a bonus ban, for example, because I'm a true advocate that having two bonuses which are too high or are misleading, it's not beneficial for the image of our industry. Gambling or it should be how do you say, it should be safe, and it should not be an alternative that people think that you can become rich. So this has a big impact in the way that we see advertising at the moment above the line in Belgium. It's more like building your brand, building your image, and building more about responsible gambling.
Anne-Jaap, what are your experience in the Scandinavian market when it comes to building trust and as a company?
Yeah, no, it's all about quality and not about quantity. So that's really essential. And of course, to target the right customer who can afford gambling. And we have seen, in Denmark, the market, and we have a license since 2012, and in Sweden in 2019. So we have learned a lot, and we learned as well that of course you have the law, but as well you really need to cooperate between operators, with sports and with media, and that's really essential. So because the law, it's a paper. But of course, you have developments of media. You have now more social and digital media, so you need to align. And therefore, what's really working as well to have a code of conduct among operators or among media. For instance, in the UK, with the industry organization has been now is aligned that it's called the whistle to whistle ban. So between any sports games, there won't be any advertising from operators. You can argue about it, but at least I think we've seen before that there were 7 or 8 advertisements of gambling operators during sport games, which is definitely annoyment for football fans, and not the way forward. So in Belgium, it's by law not allowed during football games. I think no advertisement at all between games. I'm not sure if that's the way forward, but what the media did in Belgium was really good. They aligned. They have only 2 advertisers per game during the game. So and of course you get into a bidding, but that's the way it is. But at least then you don't have too much advertisers during games, and which in my opinion is really good.
And is that based on cooperation between all the companies, all the promoters, based on regulations by the media parties? AJ.
Yeah, so in Belgium it's both. It's with media and with industry organization. In the UK, it's only the industry organization who came together. But I think you need to do it with operators, with media, and with sports as well. And I think in Holland, what I see, you have already the speelbewust 18+ initiative from the current incumbents, which is really great. I think every advertisement ends with that tagline, and there's a site, and I think it's really essential to get together as soon as possible, and a line of a code of conduct. So we can all, otherwise you get different initiatives, and with different initiatives it will not be that successful if you have only one really strong one. And I think we can definitely build further on this one, which the Dutch online gambling organization NOGA is already starting. but it'll be good to do it all together.
I think Noga is having 7 members at the moment. Timothy and Holland, we are expecting over 80 new parties entering the market. Is it realistic that all these parties will work together?
I think it's up to the party to decide if you want to enter into such a cooperation. And I think there's an important distinction also between operators focusing really on sportsbook and operators in casino. We all know that the casino market is much more fragmented, and casino is a different kind of product. It's a different way of advertising. And what we see in Belgium is that the most operators that are actually communicating above the line are more focused on sportsbook. So at the end, when a market regulates, there's also a little bit of consolidation in the industry. But if you can be part of, as a smaller operator, being part of a group, a member group of with bigger operators, it's kind of like in Belgium, in all the TVCs, we have like a play safe logo. We have certain types that we need to integrate in our payoff, which means that the consumer sees that this is kind of a certificate, a pedigree of communication that has been accepted by the regulator.
Yeah. Jay, what is your view on it? Is it realistic to work together with all these parties entering the Dutch market?
Yeah, I think so. So we have industry organization in many markets where we see that if most of the operators comply, then the rest will follow. And then of course you have always operators want to be smarter than everyone, but yeah, then the regulator will come after you. So yeah, you have the law, and I think you need to give an example with the majority, and then the rest will follow. And we've seen across markets that's really working, and with yeah.
I would like to focus a little bit more on sponsorship. A lot of rights holders in the Netherlands are expecting an enormous influx of money because of sponsorships. Is that, Timothy, is that realistic?
It's I don't think people start counting themselves rich and activating databases. I've been involved in sponsorships on a global level when I used to work close with AJ. It's a tricky situation. I think sponsorships, what I'm a truly advocate of, is how sponsorships should be used. And for me, sponsorships are the angle to communicate and contribute back to the society in terms of CSR. A great example is, for example, what Unibet did at Club Brugge, or what they did with 32 Red with Derby County, is allocating a big part of your sponsor budget to be actually the partner of the community working of the club. And I think, yeah, this is for me a bit a way forward. It's
do you have any insight in the effects of these CSR programs as part of the sports sponsorship?
Sorry?
At Bruges. Timothy, do you have any insights in the effects, in the side effects of this CSR program as part of this FC Bruges sponsorship?
I missed the first part of the question, sorry, because the line was...
Do you have any insights in the side effects of this CSR sponsorship?
Yeah, when we launched the sponsorship with Club Brugge, I remember we were the headline of the news. We launched it at 11 o'clock in the morning, and on 12 o'clock we were the headline of the news that Club Brugge sold his soul to the devil. But once we communicated what the project actually was about, Club Brugge, they did a market research amongst their fans, and actually 7 out of 10 understood what the sponsorship was about. So the storm was actually 48 hours. I think sports or the sponsorship should be the vehicle for us as an industry to contribute back. And if consumers understand that this is the main reason, then it will work. What you see, for example, and this is why a lot of companies count themselves rich, is what happened in the UK. Yeah, when a team promotes from the championship to the Premier League, they just put an extra zero in the sponsorship proposal that they will make to a betting company. So, and there are a lot of betting companies that just pay this bill, but they're just happy with the exposure. They're not interested in activating the brand properly towards the community. So yeah, it becomes all to what the communication plan is and the intentions is of your sponsorship. But again,
AJ, Unibet was involved in a big sponsorship of the two Swedish football competition, but over time things have changed. How are you looking back at that contract and the current situation?
It was a very good proposal, and with the ambition of the Swedish league, the Allsvenskan, to become the 6th league in Europe. So it was included in the price as well. And it's public information. We paid 12 million per year for 10 years long. And it was a big and a long agreement. But then within 1.5 years, the regulation changed already in Sweden. So the market has been changed as well, and we see that it's hard for the regulator as well to enforce all operators. There's quite a big black market in Sweden. There has been many regulations regarding products, so customers look for different offer and on the black market. So looking back, the price is maybe I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure if we would pay again this amount, but all in it's a perfect way to bring our brand across Swedish customers and people who like to place a bet, and 20% of the partnership is linked to grassroots football, so we give something back to football in Sweden as well. We have a program where we inform all players regarding RG and match fixing, so it's not cheap, but it brings a lot, and as well in Sweden. So they're not like in the UK in the Premier League, plenty of operators who have their brand connected with the league. So there's no overkill, and I think we do it in a proper way on the sleeve, in the colors of the club. So we are very happy with it.
And still paying the same amount of money. Nevertheless, the market of the regulations have changed.
Yeah, so that's what we dislike, but it is what it is, and our brand awareness has increased a lot. So it is what it is.
Yeah, Timothy in Holland, Toto presented more than 10 partnerships with Dutch Eredivisie clubs. What do you think of that? You know, just let's say a year before the market opens. Is it fair?
Yeah, that's a question that also should be, I think, looked from a regulatory perspective. Indeed, is it fair that I think at one end it's a really smart deal, and I think for them in repositioning themselves and towards the regulation, it's a smart deal. It's a consistent deal. But there's always, I'm really keen to understand how they will activate it also in a CSR concept, because it's actually the purpose beyond profit that the NLO has is contributing back to sport. So I'm keen that they will have a good plan behind it. But is it fair? That's a fair question, but I think it's also that needs to be reconsidered from a regulatory perspective by the KSA and the politics. It's like, what will happen if regulation is postponed, and all those deals will be closed by one party, and the other parties are not able to communicate in the platforms that are normally accessible for upon regulations. Yeah, that's another another aspect that we need to reconsider. But yeah, smart deal.
AJ, looking or hearing about these deals from Toto, did you call your lawyers and said, hey, how is this possible? Is it fair?
So they have a current license. So I'm just commercial, and I think there are many lawyers here around, so they can have an opinion about that one. But again, I think it's good that there were many clubs in problems at the moment. So yeah, of course, I would prefer that at market opening there's a level playing field, and like it looks like now 10 clubs are not open for any sponsorship with any other operator. So yeah, but again, so there are more than 10 clubs, and there will be always ways to compete, of course. And that is a great campaign with even yeah. And so I can sing the song Koning Toto myself. It's a good catchy song. So I think they did really well for after regulation, of course. Yeah, I think you should where we are aiming for over 24. There's always the problem here with advertising. If it's so successful, yeah, then of course then a mass audience will like it, and it will be from 90 years till 8 years old. So that's an issue if you're too successful. In Sweden as well, we had a campaign where the song is now sung. People are singing the song when the Swedish team is playing. So of course then it's really successful. But yeah, that's not with gambling. You need to be very careful about that kind of thing. So that's happening. I think you need to reconsider how to go forward.
Yeah, Timothy, when you look at responsible advertising, what are, in your view, the stakeholders in the Dutch market, the parties that should collaborate?
Yeah, the regulator, the operators, the media, and the right holders, the sports right holders. Like I said, I think it's really good to create a kind of a protocol and clear guiding principles how and what can be communicated. Because I said a lot of advertising can be misleading with the wrong call to actions, and at the end of the road, we all fight to protect the consumer and to create a safe product and a safe environment where the operators pay a lot of money for their license and for their product development and for their data and their insights. So yeah, I think we all need to cooperate together, and if we can do that and also communicate it to the public in a proper way with a co-branded commercial from different operators that are part of Noga or any other speelverantwoord, because we have a few already in Holland. These are the small things, but it can change the public opinion on our industry. Because once the public opinion is going into the wrong direction, politics will follow the public opinion. That's how it works. And at the end of the road, the politics, they allow us and they regulate the market with the intentions to fight against gambling harm. So we don't have to be seen by the public opinion as the cowboys in the industry, but as a proper platform if they want to place a bet or play a casino game in a safe environment.
Yeah. Timothy, Marcel, AJ, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Something?
Sorry, can you hear me, gents?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are sort of in the last few minutes of your session, and it was very interesting and super interactive, although you were all there remotely. But we also have some questions from the streams and from the audience here that we would like to use in the last 5 minutes. So if we can display the Slido, please. Okay, so the first question we have here, what can you learn from other industries like tobacco, alcohol, in order to avoid future advertising restrictions or advertising bans? So learn from other industries.
We need to learn, so I think tobacco didn't do it the right way, but that's a different kind of product. Elka did it really well, and big shout out for yeah, how they did it, and Heineken with amazing campaigns. Enjoy responsibly, the don't drive and drink commercials they did with the Formula One. Hoedje af. Dus that's what we should learn from them and copy paste.
Great. Anything to add, Timothy or Marcel?
Yeah, I fully agree. I think we as a data-driven industry, we give a lot of insights and research on what actually gambling harm and gambling addiction is, and etc. So we as an industry, I think we have more to contribute back to the regulator or any other body than for example tobacco or alcohol. So and at the end of the road, yeah, if a market is regulated, the aim is to get to create zero revenues out of gambling harm.
Marcel, from your expertise, different background, but still.
What strikes me also in this interview is that if your campaigns are too successful, it can also harm you. So that is the funny thing. So Toto is very successful. On the other hand, is sort of a boomerang. So, but I think stressing all the time your responsibility as a company, as an operator, is very important in every view, and giving back to communities and society that will be also very important for this industry.
Yeah, thank you, Marcel. We have 2 questions left, and we have 3 minutes left. So let's see if we can do them. They're really interesting. Question directed to AJ. Lotteries and NLO have built a huge media stronghold in mainstream media. Is there sufficient space for new operators to build a proper and positive image?
Yeah, good question. So of course, like we know that the current alliances have a big advantage. There's not a level playing field due to the high brand awareness they are having, and new operators they need to advertise and increase their brand awareness to come to the same level, which can take years.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they've done a great job. I can still remember the Holland Casino commercial. Met speltips. Speltip 9, vergeet niet te stoppen. Sorry in Dutch, but they have done amazing work, and now it's speelbewust 18+ again. So that's something we can learn as well and build on further together. So it's a disadvantage, but on the other hand, like I said, the situation is what it is, and we should be very happy that regulation is coming, and we should be able to advertise and operate.
Okay, good. Move to the last question. Advertising, even with a stronger, safer gambling message, can still be harmful to those at risk. How can the industry work to reduce this potential for causing harm? Timothy, AJ. I guess it's a very wide message with a lot of implications, but maybe you can... So advertising, even with a stronger, safe gambling message, can still be harmful to those at risk. How can the industry work to reduce this potential that's causing harm?
I'm happy to answer, but Timothy, if you have something in your mind, feel free to go first, or...
No, feel free.
AJ.
Okay. No, I think no, that's essential, and I think that's so good with digital and social media that you can really target the right kind of customers. You have so much data, so you can really target only above 24. You can know some background. So and that's, I think, like what Marcel said as well. After regulation, we should not go for to win prizes with advertising most successful campaigns, but we should target the right target group, and that's not mass media, or there's not it's not kids on school or my grandmother of 80 years. It is people who like to place a bet or spin the wheel, and there are not millions of people. So we need to target those people and do it responsibly. So Brigitte Sand said one time, the Danish regulator, like there's only one job, and you should have a legal offer, a license, and market it really responsibly with that people can enjoy safe entertainment, she called it. So I think that's the way.
Yeah, okay. I also think that wraps up the content of your session. Marcel from Hilversum, Timothy from Belgium, and AJ from Malta. Great applause here from us all in Amsterdam, and thank you for participating. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.